probably like 2 hours in, right? And he couldn't wait. He was like, y'all talking too much. I just, needed to interrupt you so I can get her phone number. She looking like, now mind you, ain't nobody behind us. He was on the side of us, so wasn't nobody on the side. She was talking about like, who, me? All right, so handsome guy. I didn't know it was a man wig until just now.
No, he had a bald head. He just shaved it off.
He used to.
I was going down the timeline
on Facebook.
Okay.
and he was getting his male unit done, and he had the center shaved, and I just never,
That's weird.
Never seen that. I'm
And
a
to see-
hairstylist. I see it. You see it on Instagram, but
You
to
see
know
it in
and see a
person.
real person that you
Yeah,
had
that
a
kind of was
conversation
too-
with.
What about the beard? Is that fake too?
Oh no, I didn't get that close. Social distancing.
Okay, well, he asked her out like on a brunch.
A brunch.
But he brought his kids with him.
Didn't
on
tell her to the
brunch
last minute.
till she was already
He was
there.
running behind.
And
He brought a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old.
everybody wants to hear about what
Yeah.
happened when he brought the 2 kids to brunch.
Well, first of all, he didn't tell me he was bringing children at all, which I felt, okay, well, at least ask me. We just met each other. I'm not from here. Communication. Okay, so you lack that already. So I see that. And so I get to the spot where I'm putting a reservation in at Cracker Barrel, and that should have gave me a sign right there. Cracker Barrel. I appreciate it. It was good. So he said, I said 2, and I said my name, and he said no, make that 4. I said 4. Yes, I had to bring my kids. And I was like, oh, okay. 4. So we get there. It is a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. He sits the 3-year-old boy by me, and then he has the baby girl by him. And I'm a mom. I'm a mother. So, the baby got pancakes. So I was thrown in stepmommy mode already. the first outing. So, so I'm putting butter, cutting the pancakes, pouring syrup, scooting them up to the table, and I was like, this is a little much. A little much. I just felt like he should have at least communicated with me and told me, hey, I want to take you out to brunch, but I have to bring my kids. Is that going to be a problem?
Right.
He just didn't.
Kind of threw that on you.
Pretty much. And I'm like, oh, okay. I have children. I just never would have. I would never do that to someone.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
And you just met me. The first visit, I'm meeting kids.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was
not
like
even a
testing
date.
you.
It's
was
not
he
a
trying
date.
to test you or something to see how you are around his kids?
Okay, so while I'm waiting for him to get there with his 2 kids, I'm doing social media, just doing a little basic social media check. He gives a shout out to the polygamy community. I was like,
And this is after the date?
this is during.
You pass your test?
We don't know. We don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it just went
Downhill.
downhill from there. From polygamy, I said, no, that's not what I believe. I believe.
No, please expand on what he was saying.
No,
to
he said,
justify
I'm just
it.
giving shout out to the community. I can respect it, 'cause other countries, they're doing it. And I'm like, well, just because it's done in other countries don't mean that women like that. Most women want their own man.
Yeah.
They don't want to
They want
share.
their own
Right.
man.
But economical and religious beliefs, that's done, that's tolerated. So he's like, well, I can understand that, but maybe more so, along the lines of an open marriage. I said, then why get married?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
was done at polygamy, but I just want to see where it was going. So I just, for entertainment purposes only, wow.
Okay, we have a caller on line 1.
Hey team, I really enjoyed. I'm enjoying you all, but I gotta ask you a question. I mean, sometimes men take women out and they have 3, 4, 5, and 6 kids. We done did like 3 or 4 dates, and then we find out about the whole nation. We feel it's a feeling that men feel like, wow, did she really do that? So for us, it may have been a sign of him being transparent and saying, I'm hiding nothing from you. Because women tell you after the first or second date, some of them will tell you after, and we consider that very deceptive. It's like you just dropped the ball on us, and we like, oh, so you got 3 kids, so you looking for a stepdaddy. So we feel like, we feel some kind of way from us. So maybe he was trying to, the standard that men have of saying, hey, I'm gonna show you who I got, who I am, what I am, and not be deceptive by that lady.
I would actually have to agree with you, because this was the argument, quote unquote, that we had, and my take on it was it can't be a double standard. Women have custody of their children. If men have custody, they have the same issues that women would potentially have. And it all kind of depends on what the conversation was prior to that meeting. So if you felt comfortable enough on the phone when you were getting to know each other, then maybe it was something about that conversation that he felt comfortable enough to bring them to, dinner or whatever, breakfast, brunch, whatever. And I feel like too, sometimes it is kind of a test. I have kids. Do you really have a problem with it? Now, I probably wouldn't have threw anybody under the fire like that, but I feel like it was probably something that he felt comfortable with for him to bring the children along with it. Now, the polygamy part, totally different. I am not in agreement with that. But,
But see, I was doing my homework, because we had a hour conversation, so I knew he had children.
Right.
He knew I have children.
Right.
But the communication and asking if it's okay. You don't know how I feel, about that. Just the lack of respect coming in. Mm-hmm. You can still have transparency and still communicate.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, is that okay? You didn't do that. So
Kimmy J, what do you think about that?
I see it from both parts. I do believe that he should have, at first hand, said something. He shouldn't have just sprung that on you the day of, while you were already sitting at the table waiting at him.
An Uber. I paid my $12 already to get the Cracker Barrel.
And then too, like, as a woman, like me personally, like you don't need to meet my kids until I know what we are.
Right.
That's number
Who
one.
are
So
you? Who
right.
are
So
you?
on his part, like, why would you want to bring your kids around someone that you don't know? Like,
well, you got to kind of think about it. If his mindset is open marriage and polygamy,
that's
then
true.
it doesn't matter. You need to be open with any woman that I have around, because that could potentially be my other person.
that's
I mean?
that's kind of messed up for the kids,
And
though.
I know
like,
that kind of is. That'll make it right. But that might be the mindset. I'm just, devil's advocate here. You know what I'm saying? That could potentially be his frame of thought, is that, okay, well, she could be a potential second, third, fourth, fifth wife. You know what I mean? If if
Oh,
she's
did you ask him
good
if
with
he was
the women.
married?
Oh, he said he's never been married. That was in our conversation. I already knew that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if he lying about
So
that.
he just wants to be married to a lot of people.
Well, I
That's not
don't
even
know,
legal
but
in the United States.
it's all on his social media.
oh, you said it's not
my
illegal?
wife is gonna
It's
be my
not
best
legal.
friend. He's showing his cooking skills. He's already auditioned, but I
You
just
weren't
wasn't
with it.
sold.
It may not be legal,
I wasn't
but
sold
you
on
could,
it.
you could still
Yeah.
do it though. Like,
Probably could. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I
I seen
think-
other pictures, like there's like 20 kids. I was like, what is coming? Yes, it was like a lot of kids in there.
Okay.
He said, oh, those are all my nieces and nephews.
So are you turned off by the fact that he just, that he has kids and he kind of forced you to deal with them on the front end?
No, not at all. I'm not a shallow person. I have children, like I said. The lack of communication and being that I'm on this journey,
Right.
I'm trying to develop self-love and setting healthy boundaries and being able to communicate with people to let them know how I want to be treated.
right.
For out the gate, for me, communication is key.
Right.
You don't
right.
talk to me, you don't let me know, we don't have an understanding, we don't have an agreement.
Right.
And I'm going to feel like you're being disrespectful or shady, sneaky, and I don't want to doubt you like that. So
Right.
if you have complete communication, open communication and transparency, and let me make the decision.
I was gonna say he didn't even give you the
Yeah, I
option
didn't have
to
the
say
choice.
yes or no. You were already there.
So is it safe?
That's like you going to a restaurant, they just bring out a plate of food and tell you to eat it. I mean,
Is it safe to say that that person didn't get a second date, or
it wasn't a date.
I mean,
We was just,
Meeting?
it's this meeting.
at Cracker Barrel, no other meetings?
I was
Like,
not
just
interested
not interested.
after that.
Okay, totally turn. That
I
is
could understand.
that is a turn off, folks. We don't want that. Women want, at least to be given the option.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that goes for men as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think it goes both ways.
I think we all
don't know. Men are kind of
those are us that are on a journey. I think that we should be able to raise the bar on the standards. That's why we have so many divorces, so many separations, mental and physical abuse, and unhealthy
Well,
situations.
here's a question:
and-
when do we raise the bar on standards? When we first go into the relationship, or
day one.
day one?
Well,
Day one.
Well, really, I mean, if you're totally in line when you're talking about self-love and all that, the bar should never be dropped. It
Right.
should always be there.
Right.
What I'm saying is, but you don't. For the people like myself, I mean, I haven't. My bar just was,
Oh, okay.
and I seen where it got me, and the benefits of not being disciplined and focused and having standards and wanting and expecting people to treat me a certain type of way.
Right.
Whatever they gave me, I just, okay, well, I'll be in my feelings. I'll go vent about it to a friend, or, overanalyze, overthink in my head about the situation, and, it didn't get me anywhere. So now I'm trying to come at these type of situations differently, from a different perspective on how I want to be talked to. Do I want somebody to communicate with me on each and every topic
Yeah.
with transparency and honesty, whether you think it's going to hurt my feelings or not. I'd rather know the truth, and and I can make my decision.
Right.
So what do you think about, going through your journey? Do you think that you have to kind of be at that point where you feel like you're almost 100% before you could be able to go out there to really date and...
That's a good question, because I thought I was okay until I started dating somebody, after not really dating and kind of just, I thought I was, giving myself a break. But then when I got involved with this person, there were some things after being, kind of just I don't want to, should I use the word alone, kind of being alone and not, having that partner. After finally getting myself involved with this person, there's some things that came out of me getting into that made me realize, oh, okay, I still got a lot of work to do. So, I mean, do we really say, okay, how do we know if we're not dating? How do we know that we're there? Because sometimes when you are involved with someone else or you're in a relationship with someone else, they may bring something out that you need to,
Right.
that will not be brought out if you're by yourself.
By yourself, right. I mean, but do you think that that's because you're not all the way together, or because that particular person provoked certain things in you that you wouldn't have ever even had to deal with, and that's kind of specific to that particular relationship?
I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah. Okay. Your opinions on that?
My opinion, I don't know. I mean, I guess, I mean, it just depends on the situation, I guess, to know if you're ready or not. I just.
But you got to step in the waters.
Exactly,
You got to tip your toe in the water for you to be able to kind of figure all that out.
Because honestly, like with
But
that,
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And I can say that, and that's, I give myself a pat on the back for that, because a lot of people go forward in their brokenness and get into another situation, and and it's just a domino effect. So I rather know that I can look at stuff with a with a different perspective and be able to judge if that's the situation for me or not. So, and that is not. That is not the situation. This is not the time.
What's the nickname? What's the nickname? The nickname? Wig. What's the nickname?
Wig.
When will you be ready?
When we
Man,
I mean,
Man wig. Man, there we go. That's the nickname. Man
wig.
wig. Look.
So when do you think
Man weave.
Man weave.
When do you think you will be ready?
That's the
I'm not
question
rushing
mark.
it. I'm just trying to fall in love with myself.
Okay.
Right, there you
I'm
go.
trying to fall in love with myself, make sure I'm together, all my goals, and when I feel like I want to venture out and go out and just, I mean, you can't do much now. So
Right.
I
Because of
hate the
social
mask.
distancing?
Yes, I hate the mask. So I'd rather be at my house.
Oh, that mask is so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know the time is not now. There's
Okay.
other things for me to,
Something good I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Dang. What? Why women wait so late? Late for what? Wait, late for what?
To date, wait to start over. I think honestly, it's probably because we've taken on so much, to where we don't even realize it until everything kind of falls apart and you have to put yourself back together.
You hit rock bottom.
That takes time. That's like you got to get over the different stages. The regret. The hating the decisions that you probably made, and then okay, it's regrouping. I got it together now. Let me
perfect
just go
analogy.
ahead and go out there, and then it's still trial and error. Us as women, I don't know about not every woman, but we don't want to have to be going through all of this. We want to do it once or twice, and then that's it. But in the course of rebuilding, it's a lot of reflection. It's a lot of trying to figure out, what you would have did differently, and getting past, like I said, any regrets that you may have had, and then just try not to fail. I think the failure is the biggest thing, getting over that hurdle of, not being a successful relationship or whatever the case may be.
You have to be okay with your failure,
See,
because that's how you
easy.
learn. That's how you learn.
That's
how you,
easy
but-
for people who aren't perfectionists. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and I was going to use this analogy when you were talking earlier.
Bring
It's like
it.
that.
Bring
Dang
it.
on iPhone.
Bring it.
It don't always break on the first drop. It takes that right drop.
For it to crack all the way.
You know,
is true.
and that's what happens when, you know, that's why people wait so late. It ain't had that right drop.
Right.
They have not experienced that right drop that cracks them up,
Right.
where they have to just go get a new screen.
Right.
You know,
I think
So-
that's kind of spot on with me. Like I believe with myself, I'm ready to just like jump in, and I don't take the time to just kind of, okay, you need to just stop. Like, I want a partner, you know, and then being with someone for so long, and then when you get out of that, being in that place where you had that partner, you always had someone there, it's just kind of, you know, it's kind of hard. It's like just ready to jump into something and not take the time to really, not taking the time to really, like you said, self-reflect and everything.
Do you punish the new man for the last?
I think
when you don't heal.
without being aware, yeah, without being aware of it.
I try to clean slate it only because I had that happen to me for so many times of like men who could have potentially at one time been a good man, and then they got that wrong person that kind of dogged them out, and then they're like, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, and it's, you know, it's not a fair punishment. You know, not to say that you don't have those things in the back of your mind about, you know, what has happened to you, but you know, you got to kind of look at it like it's not fair. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For me, so why would I do that, you know, for the man?
Right.
I'm a risk taker though. I go all in. So
Me too.
I'm like, you know, hey,
But Sorella,
this is what we're doing.
You go all in, and you get the guys that get all clingy, and I go all in, and I get the guy that be like, whoa, you need to back up. It's like we attract. It's like I should be getting the guys that you get, and you should be getting the guys that I get, because I go all in, and they be like, okay, and you go all in, and they be like, huh,
What could-
stay with me forever?
Well, it could be, you know, where that man is at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm a good. I'm a people watcher. I'm good with people. I kind of know like
Good
the
discernment on-
personalities and stuff like that. You know, I know love languages. I know all that. So it's kind of like, if I'm seeing that you standoffish, guess what I'm finna be? Standoffish too. So we can both do this, and we can be friends. Put you in the friend zone. Men do not like the friend zone. So it's like a little timeout thing. Put them there till you realize, because when they're in a friend zone, they can sit back and actually kind of look at the type of person that you are. You know what I mean? But when you're given so much and they're kind of already selfish, it's kind of like you
See,
setting
that's where
yourself up
I
for
beg to differ.
failure.
I'm
Really?
I don't want to play any of those games.
It's not a
not
game.
playing
That's
games.
just
Yeah.
life.
But it ends up being a game.
It's just
No.
me being
It
myself.
ends up being
life,
a game
though. That's
because
just life.
I'm gonna put him over in the corner. No, I
it's
want you
not
to
that you're-
communicate with me and let's work
But
this
you
thing
can't
out.
force a person to do that if they're not there for that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's
Okay,
just a
so that's why I said
process.
your standards belong in the beginning. So
But-
you know that's there and you build on
Okay,
that.
just like you are at a place in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are too. So you can't just be like, oh, okay. Especially if you see other qualities that aren't. So you gotta figure out where you're gonna put that microscope. You're not gonna put it on whether or not they can fully communicate like how you can communicate.
Okay, so that's why I said this is not the time because I'm not
But it's-
there.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's
that
where my
much
issue comes in. I'll be
flexibility to
like,
give
Right.
a person right now.
Yeah, but
So-
if you are in that space where you're open to it, you can't just say, "Oh, he's not or they're not where I need them to be." Then everything is a game. It's just really you have to. It's no different from how you said before. You know, people treat you in a certain way, and it's either you accept it or you reject it, right? So you pretty much set the tone of how that person is going to treat you, respond, or whatever. It's no different, you know. But I'm not saying, oh, and it almost came out. I almost said nigga.
You said it. You just said it.
But it's like you don't say, oh yeah, I'm just going. It's not an intentional. It's just really your guards going up. You know what I'm saying? To say, oh, okay, well, you know, that's not working for me. Push you over here. You know what
Having
I'm
a
saying?
standard
Either
is
way.
not a guard.
I think I just
having a
fall too
standard
hard.
is knowing you want certain qualities in a person, and if they don't fit that,
It is a guard, though.
that's not a guard.
That is a guard.
It's
A
not a
guard
guard.
says, guess
It's not
what?
a guard.
When you don't fit in that, then you get pushed away. That is a guard.
I'm not pushing you away. I don't want that. That's
Well,
Okay,
I
let's
think it's
agree
how you
to
look at it.
disagree
I
on
think it's
that
how you look at
part.
it because, okay, again,
Because
last
nobody's
thing-
going to be perfect coming to you in a package to say, Yanni,
the
here I
basic
am.
skills.
Okay,
Reading,
on
writing,
who's-
and arithmetic.
Basics on whose standards, theirs or yours.
Mine.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there's somebody for everybody.
Right.
So everybody's not going to fit the bill.
2 minutes left, you guys. So
I was gonna say something. Y'all kept talking.
I'm sorry.
It's
We
ju-
do that sometimes.
It's
Let's
gone
bring
now.
it back.
We need to
Okay.
write.
I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of a.
Okay, so I get what you're saying about it seeming like it could come off as a guard, and I get what you're saying. But okay, so my example, I'm better when I use examples. So I went into this situation or involvement. I did put
Entanglement.
entanglement. I did put standards on it, but I didn't. After I saw that there were certain things that kind of, do I want to say, went against the standards that I put up, I didn't let it go, or I don't know if that's the right term to use. I didn't like walk away from it. I was willing and open to.
So you was flexible.
What were the it would depend. I guess it depends on what standards we're talking about. I guess it comes to that, but I don't. I was willing to work it out.
Right.
But if you put a guard up, are you saying that okay, a guard is kind of like okay, I'm going to put this wall up, and if you
Because you don't fit this.
and then I'm going to just. But that's
push you
not.
away over there.
I don't think that's what
because you
Yanni's
don't-
saying though. Is that what
That
you're
is
saying?
exactly what she said. She said, "Because
No.
I don't want to deal with it." That's what
If
she
you
said.
if you don't possess a quality, I don't want to spend the time teaching you.
Are you-
Because
I don't.
you're gonna say that's a double standard now.
No, it's
you're
not a
saying
double standard.
You're in your journey.
just a standard.
So no, you're saying
And
you're in
there's
your
nothing wrong
journey,
with
and
that,
they could
though.
be in a journey as well.
That means
then
that you
they're
need
not
to
for
keep
him.
going or
Right,
be by
right.
yourself until you meet somebody
Or that
who's
person is just not
equally
for you.
yoked with you.
It's not about journeys and equally yoked is two totally different things.
You
in
got to be on
my-
the same. You got to be on
in
the
my
same.
opinion.
How so?
Because
Stop reading this, Sorella. You're not supposed to read it out loud.
listen, this is live TV, so we make sure that we
Okay, go,
express
go, go.
ourselves and,
Okay.
and such. What I'm saying as far as even in a journey, no one is on the same path. Whereas to your issue might be not, you have mastered communication. This person is in their journey of communication.
Right.
But if you don't even allow them to be able to work towards it, then how you just X them out
And
all
that's what I
because
was
their
going back to saying,
communication
yeah.
is just
That
not
goes back to what I
there.
was saying.
You know what I'm saying? You can't say that you're not equally yoked. You're saying that you guys are still on a journey and still moving forward. As long as they're willing to work on that, then you have to decide whether or not that's worth your time or effort.
And that's what she's saying.
for that.
Like, if it's not-
but she's
if
saying
it's
no
not
That,
because
that
that's
is a
not
deal
that's
breaker
a basic
for me.
for her.
That's a deal breaker
See
for
what I'm
me,
saying?
though.
She's like, no communication, off the table.
Yes, no communication.
Okay, well, you know.
I mean, and that's
For
what
men,
if that's what
sometimes
works for her.
communication is not the biggest. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to be worked on, and that's something.
Communication
that we,
is a big deal for me.
right,
Like, you
and
need
that's
to,
something that
like,
we can definitely
Yeah.
touch on in the next series. You know, is it a man thing or women want too much, Yanni?
There's men out there that value communication. They want that. So
Yeah.
I think that would be a good
But I
topic.
mean,
It just
that's
depends
a
on who the
skill.
person
Who the person is.
That's a
right,
skill.
right.
People aren't born with that. It's a skill. You have to learn that. That's progressed
That's
through over
true.
the course of time.
And then the way that you communicate as well, because you could think that you're being a good communicator and
Love
not.
language.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
But we
If I
already-
get if okay.